So still we have this situation where the French, les gendarmes, won't get into the sea. They won't even get ankle deep in the water. You saw there a packed dinghy setting off for Britain. And you wonder, well, what on earth is going on there? Apparently, when Ed said, why don't you get in the door? You know, people, there's a family there, one family, apparently, a mum, dad and a couple of kids, got into serious trouble. Luckily, they couldn't get on the boat, it was too crowded, but they managed to struggle back. And so Ed said, well, why don't you go in and help that family? They're in trouble. The cop went, c'est difficile. It's difficult. I mean, what is going on?
I'll tell you what's going on, Kev. They don't want to stop those people because these aren't exactly armed and, by the looks of them, they're not exactly armed and dangerous monsters with exploding vests. You know, if they wanted to apprehend those people, they could. They could get a couple of dogs down, couldn't they? A few police dogs and some police who actually wanted to apprehend people for getting on the boats could do so very easily. It is not beyond the wit of man. And so the answer has to be that the French don't seem to want to do this. They've got political reasons for not wanting to do it. But what I can't wrap my head around is this. If they actually upheld their side of the bargain, if they prevented people crossing illegally and breaking into Britain, now they might think it's not our country, why are we having to look after their borders? Well, we've paid you money to do that. But if they upheld their end of the bargain, what they would find is the constant stream of human traffic that traverses multiple European borders from a country of origin would slow down. Because these people don't want to settle in France. They come to France in order to try to get to Britain. Now, that's a really horrific testimony on the way we're dealing with this situation domestically. I don't think we need to be the El Dorado of people who want to break our borders. And the French would argue against that. But at the same time, if the French actually upheld their side of the deal and properly trafficked that crossing, they would soon find that the number of people as part of the mass exodus making their way to Calais would largely diminish.
I'm just looking at the caption we've got underneath. I want to stress to the audience, we use a lot of stock footage of the migrant crisis of dinghies. Now, this is not stock footage. This is yesterday morning. All these scenes you'll see now are yesterday morning, as filmed by Sun reporter and his team, Ed Southgate. Now, there goes that hideously overcrowded dinghy. Now, what we're learning, Alex, this business of whether or not the gendarmes get their feet wet, is at the heart of the matter. So a lot of play is made of, 2 years and 3 months ago, Rishi Sunak handed Macron £500 million, £500 million for the French police to patrol their own beaches. So £500 million. Well, that was actually just the bumper instalment of an ongoing process. We've actually given them £800 million. Only now are the French police, the gendarmes, saying, well, if you talk to us nicely, we might consider getting in the water and chasing these people, but only to a distance of 300 metres. I say, hang on a second, the English Channel is 21 miles across. How about 10.5 miles? You're half of the channel. That's not the point. So apparently Yvette Cooper is extending their contract and is prepared to give them more money to get their feet wet. I mean, what on earth is going on here?
Right, so I love the French. I adore the French, but the French are the French, okay? And the only thing that they're going to respond to is what you call diplomatic incident, right? So actually what we need to do when the French are failing to do as promised, when we've given them all this money, is when a boat is leaving and gets to that halfway point, we either need to blockade it and make sure it stays in French waters and phone up the French Coast Guard and say, unfortunately, this boat is not going to be able to traverse into the UK side of the channel, so you've got to come and rescue it. Or else we drag the boat back to France ourselves. Because the way that they responded to negotiating fishing quotas was a diplomatic incident. You had French fishermen opening up their sort of water guns on UK fishermen saying, we want to fish here, we want these scallops, we want these whelks, you can't get whelks on this side of the channel. The French are, well, they have that Gallic esprit de corps. And so, we can give them more money and we can carry on like mad people, watching them not actually use it to do what we've asked them to do. Or we can say, hold on, we've given you almost £1 billion, which actually by now, if it's 800 £800,000 is going to be €1 billion. Let's translate it into
800 million. 800 million. Don't undersell yourself.
That's probably going to be €1 billion. That's what I'm saying at this point. That rounds up, right, in Euro language. So let's speak their world and use, you know, meters and centimeters, not miles and yards. Maybe they're missing something in the translation of the diplomatic text. What we need to do is signal to the French now, very audaciously and very deliberately provocatively, you're not doing what you've asked to do. So we either stop a boat midway and phone the French lifeguard and say, this boat's here, it's your side of the channel, pick it up. Pick it up, or we have to start taking boats back because they're not responding. And sometimes you need to be Billy Big Balls if people are going to listen to you.
Yeah, exactly right. Just tell them you're not fulfilling your side of the bargain. Therefore, unless you think about actually doing what we've given you $800 million pounds for, if only it was dollars, that would be a lot less, £800 million for, then we're going to stop the boats and we're going to take them back to you, because clearly the gendarmes are just going to keep taking our money and keep not doing very much about it. And they don't want to stop these boats. You know, if every time you hear a politician say, now, the way to solve this crisis is we need to get round the table with the French. No, because the French, all they want to do with these migrants is say goodbye, enjoy Britain. They want to get rid of them.
This is the crazy thing, Kev. Yes, they do. They want to get rid of them because they're worried they're going to languish therefore in Calais for such a long period of time. But what brings them to Calais in the first place? The dream of coming to Britain.
Yeah.
So actually, it just follows on like night follows day, that if the French helped us tackle this problem, they would find people, you know, breaking into their own country and crossing their border would probably rapidly diminish, because people know that France is a hostile country. If they try their luck there, they're going to have to get out and try somewhere else and not coagulate around Calais to get to Britain. If that wasn't an option, you'd actually find that the French would move people on themselves if the dream of Britain wasn't to come to pass.
Yeah.
So
as the French always say, Alex, you know, oh, why are these migrants coming to Britain? Oh, I know. It's that you give them free hotel, free money. We give them 50 quid a week, free food, free doctors, free dentists, free lawyers to fight their case to stay here. This is an insane country. The French look across the channel, 21 miles, and go, those people are mad. And they've got a point.